Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Pause and Effect. I'm your host, CJ, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. As you can see, I've got a tier maker up on screen. I thought, as one last homage, quote unquote, to 2024, I would create a tier list of every game I've ever streamed, and I have all the icons down here, plus every engine I've ever, or an application I've either worked with or tried to work with, where either it worked or it didn't. But I figured I've done a lot of streams, and I think the best thing to do would be to rank everything based on my thoughts. So I have a bunch of different categories here. They are top 5 AAA and top 5 indie, which those are going to be determined closer to the end of me ranking everything. Top tier, which was I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't put it as the best, but if it's here, then yeah, I would play it again. Really good is I liked playing it. I don't have really strong oh, I loved it energy towards it, but it's still up there. Just all right, very middle of the pack, where it's maybe I'd approach it again if I got bored, but I have no idea. No major feelings is I played it and didn't really feel much of anything towards it, but yeah, I'm not sure. Should have played more is I don't have an opinion because I didn't play enough of it, but I don't anticipate too many things being in this category because I'm kind of making this all up as I go, but at the same time, we will see what happens. Game engines and tools. This is just a separate category for me to throw all the tools I've used for Thursday streams in here. And then meh was I personally didn't like it, but I recognize that there are things about it that make the game fun for a lot of people, but it just really was not my thing. So I have everything ordered from the very first stream I did of 2024 to the last new game I played of 2024, and that's minus all the engines and tools all the way down here. So in fact, I think I'll just go ahead and put those up. So RPG Maker MV goes in game engines and tools, and this one is going to be more of an actual ranking based on placement. The rest of them aren't going to feature that at all. So then SRPG Studio goes in second place. RPG Maker was the first game engine I really tried to start teaching myself, and SRPG Studio was the second one, and I really enjoyed my time making games in these engines, to the point where, I did put out four games on itch.io this year, 2 in RPG Maker and 2 in SRPG Studio. That's not nothing. Not to me, it isn't. So then next thing I'm gonna put is GarageBand, because it's a music making thing that I know how to use. I've been training in it for 15 years and still trying to come up with things for it. So I'm always gonna have a soft spot for it. Blender, I'm putting in number 4 for tools, because it was something that I've always been meaning to learn. I never really had or gave myself a lot of opportunity in order to do that, but at the same time, I enjoyed what I learned closer to the end of 2024, and I'm looking forward to keeping that up, even if I have pushed everything to the wayside in order to rest and recuperate, which I should be doing now. I'm recording this on January 5th, 2025. So then 5th place is going to be Pixel Game Maker MV. Nothing really against it. I did like it, and I do kind of have an idea of something I want to make in it, but can I execute it? That's the biggest question I have, especially with assets that I don't know how to make. Game Maker is going in number 6. Again, it's another thing of like, I had an idea, and I thought I had at least a decent idea of how to mess around in this engine, but yeah, I'm not really sure how to approach this, not without assets of my own at least. I just need to figure out how to make them, or need to figure out where to get them. And then the last one in last place for game engines and tools is going to be Construct 3. So, again, nothing really against it, especially with the 30 minutes that I poked around in it, trying to make sense of it on stream. But at the same time, like, I don't know, it being an engine where in order to get the most out of it, you have to pay a monthly subscription. That kind of just rubs me the wrong way the more that I've thought about that. So that's the ranking for all the game engines. So now moving right along. So starting with the first game on the list is Pseudo Regalia. And this one I'm going to put under really good. I did play, I never did finish this on stream, but I did go back and finish my run a little later. And it's a really solidly crafted game. I really enjoyed it. I thought it's definitely one of the more unique approaches to Metroidvanias I've ever seen. Like, with a heavy emphasis and focus more on like platforming and precision platforming over combat, and I honestly really liked that. So then the next one is Asht Libra Revision, and I'm going to put this under just alright. Like, I enjoyed my time with it. I thought it was really good, but then at the same time, I haven't really touched it since that first stream. Not on stream and not off stream either. So at some point, I do need to go back to that. Just time has been constantly getting away from me. But I will get around to that at some point. Probably not on stream, but we'll see. Now, next up is Blasphemous 2, and I'm going to put this in top tier. This game single-handedly changed my mind about how I feel about Blasphemous. And I've gathered some opinions from people who have played both this game and the original Blasphemous, and a lot of people are split because it's either people loved the first Blasphemous and hate the second one, or they hate the first one like I do and love the sequel like I do. So at some point I may need to or want to revisit Blasphemous 1 with taking with me everything that I've learned from Blasphemous 2, but I have no idea when that'll be. So then the next up is Afterimage, and I'm putting this under really good. Now, this is a game that I dropped off of playing because the 2 streams that I did of it, one in January, one in March of last year, didn't really get a lot of traction. But at the same time, I did continue my run of this game off stream eventually, and I do kind of wish that I had kept it up, because I played through it and I hit a point where I found a whistle that allowed me to tame a manta ray and ride across the ocean. And it was at that point where I said to myself, I get it now. This game is awesome. And I wish I had encountered that live for everybody to see, because, yeah, it would have been a fun time. So then the next game on the list is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And this is a no-brainer. This is top tier. This is easily, without a doubt in my head, one of the most beautiful indie games I have ever witnessed. Moon Studio really knew what they were doing with the second one, and Microsoft, I guess shout out to Microsoft for giving the studio the opportunity to make the sequel the way that they wanted. And even though I didn't like Ori and the Blind Forest nearly that much when I tried playing that game several years ago, my time with Ori and the Will o' the Wisp has made me want to reconsider Blind Forest at least a little bit. So I do need to go back to that, similar to Blasphemous 2. But moving right along, the next one is going to be The Last Faith, which I started all the way back in 2023 because I was a Kickstarter backer for that game and it came out, but then I finished it in the very beginning of 2024, and I'm putting that under really good. Because out of every Metroidvania I've ever played that functions very similarly to a Souls-like, and Blasphemous 2 would be another great example of that, The Last Faith, I feel, is the one Souls-like I've played, the one Metroidvania I've played that is the closest to the Souls-like formula in terms of like you being able to build your character and like for the weapons that you want to wield. And I thought that was a very interesting approach. And to my knowledge, I haven't played a lot of Metroidvania games, or I call them Soulsvanias, that really allow you to take the Bloodborne and Elden Ring approach to building. So I'm definitely curious to play more of those. So then next up is Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue. Started that back in December of 2023 and kind of fell off of it due to a lack of interest in the streams, but it's overall a very solid game. And me knowing that I'm playing the harder version of the two games between Battle Network 3 Blue and Battle Network 3 White, I definitely think I made a conscientious decision there, but in terms of like choosing the two, but I have no idea if I played that again, if anybody would be interested in watching that. So it's going to be another one of those games that I think will be left to the wayside, at least for a little while. So then next up is Tormented Souls, another game that I started in the end of 2023 and kind of tried to pick it back up in 2024. Or maybe I did start it in 2024. I'm having a really tough time remembering off the top of my head. But this is just alright. It's really good as a Resident Evil homage, and even takes a lot of cues from it. But at the same time, like, I played it in full anticipation of like knowing what I was getting myself into and still really enjoying it all the same, but it gets knocked down a peg simply because, like, yeah, I don't think the audience was really feeling it at the time, so I'm just leaving it there. But I am very much looking forward to whenever Tormented Souls 2 releases. I definitely want to play that. So then next up is Baldur's Gate 3, and oh man, I've only ever played this game for 2 hours and did that on stream. And this is going to be very controversial, but I'm putting Baldur's Gate 3 in meh tier. Because just based on the 2 hours I played it, the opinion I hold is I recognize that it does a lot of very interesting things and it's very well written. And I recognize why it's a game that people love. However, it's not for me. I personally prefer games that are like more interactive and more action. If I was going to be playing a game where I simply like execute the commands and just watch things happen without having any major say in what's happening, like I would if I was playing Fire Emblem, yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I'm not a big fan of the game's passivity, if that makes any sense. But moving on, next up is Monster Hunter World Iceborne. I played Monster Hunter World in 2023, and I think I started Iceborne in 2023 before eventually moving it right along to 2024. and I'm putting this in top tier. Overall, this is my third time playing through it, and every single time I've played it, I've never had a truly bad experience. Maybe I've been super annoyed with the cutscenes and super annoyed by the characterization of the handler, but overall, it's a very solid experience, one that I prefer over, Monster Hunter Rise and Rise Sunbreak in a way. Both really solid experiences in their own right, but I just love Iceborne all the more. And I do need to finish this run. I have 2 Elder Dragons left in the main story, Namiel and Shara Ishvalda, and I gotta get on that soon before Monster Hunter Wilds comes out, because that's gonna be where I'm gonna invest the most of my time. So then next up is Stranger of Paradise, and like, no questions asked, this is also going in top tier, because yeah, I didn't know what I was getting into. I just thought it was going to be like meme central, just with all the stuff I've seen going around about it, like Jack just saying chaos every like however many times, or either Jack being the most like funny protagonist ever. Actually, it's pretty much just Jack being the funniest protagonist ever, or like the most brooding and the most edgelordy. But all that being said, definitely an enjoyable experience. I absolutely loved it. I haven't tackled any of the DLC, either on stream or off stream. I tried to do it on stream, but realized there are a lot of barriers of entry to get there, so I may have to give that a miss for a little while. So then next up is Palworld, and not much to say about this. I'm putting it in a really good. I only played it twice and didn't really play a whole lot of it beyond like March of 2024, but at the same time, for a Pokemon competitor, it's easily the most solid and easily the most funny and meme-worthy out of like everything I played. I definitely need to jump back on and see what some of the free updates are about, but I do have to wonder exactly what's going to happen with this game because of the lawsuit between Nintendo and Pocket Pair. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. So then next up is Golden Sun, and I never did finish this game. I need to get back around to that, but this is also going under really good, because what can I say? It's like the quintessential Game Boy Advance experience. It's something that I think everybody should experience at least once in their lives. And it is available on Switch Online. That's how I played it. I do need to finish this up eventually. I think I'm at the final dungeon, Venus Lighthouse. And once I do that, I can move on to Golden Sun, The Lost Age. Maybe I can get that done this year. I have no idea. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. So then next up is Tekken 8. I tried doing PS Remote Play, I think it's called, to try streaming that game from my PS5 to my laptop, then streaming that through OBS on my laptop, and I'm surprised that it worked for the most part. But Tekken 8, I'm always going to have love for it, but I'm putting it under just alright, simply because it was a one-off type of affair. But if I can maybe double dip and get it on PC, then maybe I can probably get myself into some more matches. It's definitely something I'm gonna try out going forward. So next up is Cave Story. I only played this the one time. I'm putting it under really good. I absolutely love this game. It's one of my favorites, and it is the quintessential indie title. I have it through Steam. I think I bought it through Steam so long ago, but everybody can play this game for free. I think it's a free download now, maybe. I'm not 100% remembering that correctly, but if I could have gotten this to work on my laptop all the way back in March or April of 2024, then I definitely would have continued it. At some point, I definitely need to, because I'm at the halfway point, if I remember correctly. Then Ender Lilies, I'm putting under should have played more. Ender Lilies is one of those games where people really love it, and I do love that game's soundtrack. It's very ethereal sounding and calming, but there's just something about how it plays that really bugs me. I think it's just the overall lack of hit stun or lack of like major traversal and movement options, or just like a whole lack of like a lot of different things that I'm used to seeing within Metroidvanias that it just rubbed me the wrong way. So then Death's Door is the next one, and I'm gonna put this under just alright, because Death's Door is a game that I love, and I wanted to at least try to do a run of it for my streams. But the thing that I feel about it is like I don't think it's interesting enough for people to want to watch it, and that's why I kind of just left it. And maybe I'll get back to it eventually. I have no idea, but who knows at this point. So then the next up is Pizza Tower's noise update, and no brainer, this is going in top tier. It's Pizza Tower. Pizza Tower was my indie game of the year for 2023, and the noise update is basically just more Pizza Tower. I wouldn't put it under my top 5 games that I've played this year or top 5 indies, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's still Pizza Tower. It's still really good. That's all I can say. And then Zelda Ocarina of Time is up next, and that's a no-brainer. This is also going in top tier. It is the quintessential Zelda title. It is the one that people absolutely love. And I mean, me being me, I absolutely love it too. But yeah, like I think I don't have much of an opinion on it other than like, yeah, it's one of my favorite games. And it's definitely within my top 3, I think, Zelda games of all time. Well, the 3D ones at least. But I will leave that there simply because I think if you wanted to get like more information about from other people about why they like it, they'll have like more to say. I guess because I've played Ocarina of Time so many times, maybe like 20 or 25 times now, that most of it is like lost on me, but at the same time I think like, oh yeah, I still love this game to death. It's still the greatest. So then next up is Eastward Octopia. I tried playing Eastward itself all the way back in 2023. Those streams didn't really get noticed, so I left it to the wayside, but I definitely wanted to play the DLC at some point. So I'm putting it under just alright, because yeah, like it takes the core gameplay of Eastward, transforms it into a farming sim, but for pixel art, it has like really, and I mean really good graphics. And that's really all I can say there. So then next up is Crypt of the Necrodancer, and that's going under no major feelings, because Crypt of the Necrodancer is one of those games where I enjoy it every time I play it, but I also recognize that it's one of those games where if I want to play something but I don't want to like necessarily continue in something, then I can just pop this on or any other roguelike and just go nuts with it. That's pretty much my only thing. But I do like it, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm waiting on Rift of the Necrodancer to release, which is releasing in a month, I think. So then next up is Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. Top tier, easily. In fact, I'm gonna just like issue this now. Like, top 5 AAA. This is easily my favorite game that I've played all year. And like, this game has changed my perception on a lot of different JRPGs. I might even go as far as to say it's changed my life. And it's easily one of the most fun times I've had throughout all of 2024. Just playing this game, reacting along to everything that's happened, and getting super emotionally invested in the characters and the party and the story and a lot of the NPCs, and even really finding myself adapting to the combat, and overall just having a really good time. And this game easily deserves to be my game of the year for 2024. So next up is Honkai Star Rail. I'm going to put this under really good. I play this game daily on the regular, just for maybe like 30 minutes at a time, just to do my dailies, maybe for hours at a time if I'm like really trying to catch up on story and whatever else. But in this particular stream, I simply played it in order to try to play catch up with it, and maybe it worked out the way I thought it might, maybe it didn't, but yeah, I don't think this can be really like quantified under like a tier list, but I did stream it, so I'm just gonna leave it there for now. So then the next 4 games on the list, F-Zero GX, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Kirby Air Ride, and Mario Superstar Baseball, I played just in a single stream because I was testing out an adapter to see how well it worked. And those games, I maybe only got 30 to 45 minutes of enjoyment out of them, but at the same time, like, I definitely think I know where I would put these. F-Zero GX goes under really good. Kirby Air Ride goes under really good. Mario Superstar Baseball goes under just alright. And Super Smash Bros. Melee goes under no major feelings. F-Zero GX and Kirby Air Ride, those are some of my favorite GameCube games, and probably the only 2 games I would ever consider busting my GameCube back out for just to play. Mario Superstar Baseball is a nostalgic time, and even though I got my ass kicked during that stream by the NPCs because I hadn't played in years, I still had a good time. Super Smash Bros. Melee, it's iconic, I recognize that, but at the same time, I prefer the other games in the franchise, like 64, Smash 4, Ultimate, maybe Brawl only for the Subspace Emissary mode, but Melee to me is a thing that's been tainted by the greater competitive community as a whole. So I'm just going to leave it there, is what I'll say. So then, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is up next. I'm putting this under top tier. It's Hyrule Warriors. If you were to count all of the side games that aren't necessarily canon, but should still be like, should still deserve to be mentioned in the same breadth as like the rest of the overarching Zelda titles, then this is actually my favorite Zelda. Otherwise, my favorite Zelda is Twilight Princess, but Hyrule Warriors is just a good time. It takes the tried, tested, and true Dynasty Warriors formula, applies Zelda characters, and applies the most random-ass nonsense to like everything, and it's so fun to play and so funny to witness. Unless you're playing Tingle, in which case that is utterly horrifying. But, yeah. So then next up is Signalis, and this is also going in top tier. Signalis was really good. I didn't know what to expect from it, other than, like, robot space lesbians, based on what one of my friends told me, but this is an immaculate love letter to games like Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid. There's like one other game I'm thinking of, and I remember bringing it up during the very first stream I did of it. I can't quite remember. But at the same time, it was overall a very solid experience, and one of these days I'd love to go back to it and maybe try to get a different ending. I don't know, because I know there's like 6. So then next up is Tales of Symphonia. I'm putting this under should have played more, because I did like it, but I recognized at that time I wasn't necessarily looking to get into any kind of major I guess like long playthrough, because at that time I was playing so many different things like Ocarina of Time, Signalis, Dragon Quest XI, Monster Hunter, and I was gonna get into Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door as well, because like, even though I did enjoy it, I do recognize that this experience is dated, because I didn't play the remaster and I didn't play the updated version that released on PS3 alongside Symphonia 2. This was whatever standard version is on Steam at the time, and I thought maybe next time I got into it I would try it slightly modded, and I did install a mod for this, but it made the game look and play a little weirder than I thought it should have, so I may just have to leave this alone for now, unfortunately. So then next up is the remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, and I would put this in top tier and go so far as to say it was my number 2 game for top 5 AAA. This game is one that I'd been really looking forward to playing for a long time, because I'd always wanted to replay this game, but didn't necessarily have a copy anymore due to reasons. And I've been like really looking forward to it, and being able to go down memory lane with this game with all new music, which was just, the only thing I can say is chef's kiss. Mwah. Like, it was really a fun time, and I'm glad that the people that watched it loved it. Really, that's all I can say. So then next up is Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. I'm going to put this under, actually no, not no major feelings. I'm putting this under just alright, because it's Fire Emblem. It's a really good game. I started a playthrough of it simply so I could get some research in for like how to approach making characters and making enemy units and balancing everything in SRPG Studio, so that I could make some things. And this kind of fell to the wayside simply because the first stream worked pretty well, the second stream not so much. But it was a really good time, and I think, where was I at when I last played? Chapter 15? I still have like half of the game left, so I should probably get back to that at some point. So then next on the list is Lethal Company, and I'm putting this under really good. I may push it up to top tier depending on what I have to say, but this is one of those games where like I'm always down to play it if anybody asks me, because it's just a super solid experience. Because there's always some funny moments to be had, whether you're playing this modded or unmodded, and always a bunch of laughs, always a bunch of WTFs, and always a bunch of just random shenanigans and nonsense to be done and to be found. And overall, it's a very solid thing. So then next up is Crow Country. This goes in top tier, but I'm gonna just go as far as to say this is actually my number 1 indie game for 2024. Crow Country is a gift. A perfect love letter to old school games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Clock Tower, and it's just speedrunner's heaven, speedrunner's paradise, and I absolutely enjoyed it. There was a lot of fun to be had, and there was just what else can I say? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So with that in the number 1 spot, Signalis is going in the number 2 spot for everything that I said earlier, plus like more. And now that I've said all that, Ori and the Will o' the Wisp takes the number 3 spot for top 5 indie. And now we're moving on. So then 2024 was my first year playing Halo Combat Evolved. I never played any of those games growing up. I never had an Xbox. I only had PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. But this was really good, and I'm putting it under top tier. Because I don't think I would have gotten anything out of this game if I had simply played it by myself for myself. But shout out to my friend Hazmat XD, who streams on Twitch. Through his guidance and our conversations and just all the fun that we had playing Halo the 2 times, like, it was really fun, and I'm hoping to get around to maybe playing Halo 2 with him sometime this year. Either that or I could play it for myself, but I find collabs like that to be a really good time, especially with a first-person shooter game like this. So next up is Thymesia, and I'm putting this under meh, unfortunately. Thymesia, this is my first time playing it. That stream has been unlisted, so like you can't really watch it back unless you know where to find it. But Thymesia is one of those Souls-likes where I thought I knew what kind of game it was going into it, but it turned out to be nothing like what I was hoping for. And that was just really a heavily detracting thing. I don't think it's horrible, but it's not for me, personally. So then, the next game, Mullet Majak, I'm gonna put under no major feelings. I mean, what can I say? It's just a roguelike Doom. It really is just a Doom as a more fast-paced roguelike. It's really good as a boomer shooter, but I don't know how I feel about it. I think there may be games that are better that I may be more inclined to try out. I don't think I did any favors, or myself any favors, by playing Darkenstein 3D to start off the year as far as boomer shooters are concerned, but it has led me to wanting to play like some other things such as Dusk, Forgive Me Father, and Ultra Kill. So maybe I'll get around to that at some point. Maybe not. Who knows? And then the next thing is Doom 2016, and I'm putting this under really good. Doom is Doom is Doom is Doom, and if you were to ask me whether I like this more or Doom Eternal, I like Doom 2016 a hell of a lot more, simply because it is a far more balanced experience compared to the alternatives. And what else can I say other than like it's a good time? I never did finish it. I definitely need to get back around to that, but I will figure that out and get back to you guys. So the next up is the 2019 remake of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and this is also going under really good. It's a Zelda game. It's a really solid remake. Like, I detract from it simply because there is no way in hell I would ever put this game in top tier. It's definitely in my top 5 for the isometric 2D Zeldas. I mean, it might be, but it is a very short game. You can finish it in like, what, 6, maybe 5 hours if you're good. It's overall just a really short experience that I feel like I should not have paid $60 for. Granted, I've owned it since launch, so what does that say about me? But at the same time, you can't go wrong with this game. It's a pretty solid experience. And the original Game Boy one is also available to play if you subscribe to Switch Online. So, yeah, that's about all I got for that. Next up is Kingdom Hearts 2, and I'm going to put this in top tier. Of all of the older Kingdom Hearts games, this is my favorite of the bunch. Granted, I haven't played too many of them, but I always had very fond memories of Kingdom Hearts 2. I just don't know if I will ever finish this because attempting to play the PC version really taxes my PC's GPU, and I do end up running into more problems trying to maintain like a stable internet connection while streaming than I don't. So I may have to come back to it at some point. But I don't know. The last I played, I finished up the second run of Port Royal, so that would be where I continue from. We'll see. So then, next up is Gestalt Steam and Cinder, an indie Metroidvania, and this is going under Just Alright. Gestalt Steam and Cinder, I was I wasn't a Kickstarter backer for this game. I think it was just something that I was really looking forward to. And lo and behold, like, I played the demo once, all the way back in 2023. Really enjoyed my time. Played the game once, and I enjoyed my time. It was still a really good game. I had kind of a, like, weirding out moment the moment I realized I rescued a dog that was named Pavlov. Because, like, what kind of twisted individual would name a dog Pavlov? But at the same time, it's a solid experience. I don't know if I would ever play it on stream again, simply because I don't think it's anything that people would be interested in watching, but at the same time, definitely consider checking it out for yourselves. It's a good time. So, you know what? I'm going to push this up. I'm going to put it under really good. So then, number 4 under top 5 indie is going to go to Gravity Circuit. Gravity Circuit is super, super solid as a Mega Man style action platformer. Like, the speed of the game is something that greatly pleases me, and it's just overall a really fun time. If you're looking for a fast-paced Mega Man style game, but without any of the trappings of Mega Man, then look no further. This game is awesome. So then, next up is Another Crab's Treasure, and I'm going to put this under top tier. Another Crab, actually wait, no, not top tier. I'm going to put it under really good. Because Another Crab's Treasure is another one of those games where, similar to Thymesia, I didn't know exactly what I was going to get myself into, especially considering it was a Souls-like, but whereas Thymesia is like unnecessarily dark and depressing with a first boss that is pure bullshit, Another Crab's Treasure was just overall a fun time. It's lighthearted, it has its really dark moments, but there's also a lot of humor to be found, and just overall some really funny moments to have, and really funny moments to just mess around with. And you know what? I really like that. I still haven't finished it. I definitely need to get around to that some point this year, so I will do that. So next up is Hollow Knight. And no brainer, this is going under the number 5 spot for top 5 indie. Like, I recognize that I have 100% redeemed myself for my past failures playing Hollow Knight all the way back in 2018 when I first played the game, and coming back to it in 2024 to approach it a little more was just a really good time. I had a lot of fun, and what can I say? I finally managed to do the thing that I set out to do this time, which was beat the Radiance, and it worked. And there's still more for me to do. I still need to run the Godmaster DLC, and I do still need to defeat Nightmare King Grim. But at the same time, like, I'm very pleased with how the run turned out, and I'm very pleased that people also really loved it. So that's where I'm going to leave it. So then, otherwise, if this wasn't going to be under top 5 indie, it definitely goes under top tier. Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight is next, and I'm putting this under really good. It's definitely not top tier and doesn't deserve to be in that spot, I don't think. But at the same time, like, I only needed to play it once. I just like completely played the game all the way through, got the bad ending. Eventually did go back to get the good ending on my own time, but I do recognize, like, yeah, this game hit all the notes for me in terms of like an old school Castlevania experience with the modern Metroidvania trappings. Plus, that this game does gain points for giving you a transformation that allows you to become a cat. But yeah, I think that's all I got for that. Tomba Special Edition is up next, and this upsets me because for the one stream that I tried of it, things were very horrendously broken, and this game like gravely brought down my opinion of limited run games. Because in the they like really bastardized a lot of this game in the name of modernization, and which is a damn shame because Tomba is a game that defined my childhood. I did go back later and actually finish my run after the one stream, and I did have fun with it, but I had to really sacrifice a lot in order to make it work, and that just does not sit right with me at all. So I do recommend playing it, but keep a very low opinion of it going in, and after this I'm like very scared of what limited run is going to do to their upcoming port of Tomba 2 to modern platforms. Like, I'm definitely gonna buy it, I'm definitely gonna play it, but I'm scared. So then next up is Visions of Mana. I played the demo of this, and I'm gonna put this under just alright. I enjoyed what I played, but I do recognize I need to get around to actually giving this game a chance at some point, because Square Enix demos, as far as I'm aware, don't exactly do a good job of how do I put this? They don't do a good job of like showing you the actual progression of the game unless it's a demo where like you're able to start from the beginning and play for an hour or two before you are forced to stop and say, oh hey, you can pick this game up, like from your save when you purchase the full thing, which that is worthwhile. But this demo is one of those ones, because I remember playing the demo for Valkyrie Elysium, and it's like, oh, your stuff doesn't transfer over, but you can certainly try things out with like upgraded things and see if you like it. And I feel like I would much rather like gradually grow into things and start from the very beginning, as opposed to playing something that gives you an inkling of like the mid game and like late game things to come before before it tells you like, oh hey, your stuff won't transfer. So definitely gotta play the full thing at some point. So next up is yeah, like we are getting closer to the end here. Next up is Hardbound, and I hate to do this, but it's going under No Major Feelings, because it was a cool game from what I played, don't get me wrong, and I do really appreciate what Pirate Software and his team were able to put into this game. But at the same time, this to me is one of those types of games where the early access is fine, but doesn't necessarily do it a lot of justice. So I am looking forward to seeing future updates of this game and how it goes. But for the time being, that's going to be where I leave it. So then next up is Final Fantasy X HD. This is going under really good. I picked this up in 2023, I think. I forget specifically when that was, but I recognize that this game hurts to play simply because every time I play it, the stream itself gets slapped with copyright claims for the music, which I can simply just dispute and it goes away. But at the same time, like, it goes under really good because people hype this game up as like one of the best JRPGs ever made, and that's kind of why I decided to pick it up like this. But the thing that I recognize is I don't think I'm yet at a point where the game will like show me what it's all about and be like, oh, this is why this is one of the best JRPGs like Square Enix has ever made. I'm waiting to get to that point, but I'm like looking forward to when it takes me there, whenever I pick this game up next. So then next up is Neo: The World Ends With You. Been looking forward to playing this for a while, and I'm putting it also under really good. I wouldn't have played this multiple times if I didn't think there was something there. But also as somebody who hasn't played the original and definitely needs to get around to doing that at some point, this game is, overall speaking, pretty solid. It is definitely a fun time. I've had, I want to say not too much fun, but definitely a lot of fun messing around with how the pins work and how all the approaches to combat go. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing this a lot more. So then Cyber Shadow is up next. And unfortunately, this is also going under meh tier because this game I'd always wanted to play simply because it was put out by, not necessarily developed by, but published by Yacht Club Games, the makers of Shovel Knight. And I thought to myself, oh, that probably means this game is going to be top quality. And unfortunately for me, it wasn't. But at the same time, I recognize why people like this game, but I also recognize why people don't. It's basically just a love letter to Ninja Gaiden without changing how OG Ninja Gaidens play. So I feel like if I was going to do that, I would just rather play The Messenger all over again, which I might do at some point this year, but I don't know. So then next up is Momodora Moonlit Farewell. I'm putting this, compared to Reverie Under the Moonlight, I'm putting Moonlit Farewell under just alright. There are definite improvements with this game compared to Reverie Under the Moonlight. It's a lot faster paced, and graphically it's a lot better, but I feel like it's lacking a lot of the charm that made Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight so interesting. So until I see more of that, and I don't think I'm going to be... I played it twice on stream, I don't think I'm going to be continuing that at any point, but I did really like it. So I'm just going to put it under just alright for now. So the next up is Bow Path of the Teal Lotus, which I'm going to put under really good. I played this twice, once as part of a video, I think for a Steam Next Fest demo or something similar, and then I streamed it once when the game came out, and while I would not put it under top tier, this game still wowed me in the best possible way. I backed this game on Kickstarter, and I got the Return of the Century. It was just a super well thought out game, and overall a very solid experience, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing more of it. I don't know if I'll ever play it again on stream. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, it's hard to say. But I would love to continue this at some point. So then next up is the Game Boy Advance version of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And I'm also putting it under really good. So I've always wanted to play this game all the way through and finish it. I do have one final dungeon left to play of the game. Either I'll do it for a short stream or I'll play it for a video. I have no idea yet. But overall, it's been very fun to just go back and replay a classic in this way. Then the next game is Metroid Prime Remastered. This is also going under really good. Very solid experience. I got kind of frustrated with myself and with the game because I decided to play this on hard mode like an idiot during the last stream, but at the same time, it's Metroid Prime. It's a solid experience. I played it in heavy anticipation for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is coming out sometime in 2025, and I definitely want to keep at it and keep going with it. So then the next 3 games are Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, and Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. So let's just rank these all at once. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia bypasses top tier and goes in as number 3 for top 5 AAA games. Castlevania Portrait of Ruin goes under really good. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow goes under top tier. Castlevania Dominus Collection was the best thing to ever happen to me this year, simply because like these 3 Castlevania games defined my childhood. They were some of my favorites. Actually, I'm gonna bump Portrait of Ruin up to top tier. But these were 3 of my favorite games as a child. They were easily like the games I spent the most amount of time in, and I felt very privileged and very lucky to be able to play the games as part of a stream all over again. And I just feel blessed to be able to play through them. And I really mean that. So then, it's hard to say just exactly why I love them, but I guess nostalgia is a very powerful force. So then, the next game is Crosscode. I played it once on stream for a New Game Plus thing, and the New Game Plus was very funny, so it goes under top tier. Just seeing the vast majority of the changes and what they did and what they were able to do was really funny to witness, and I had a lot of fun just being able to run through the game, like the very early game, and just one-shot all the enemies, because it felt like a very gratifying sense of vengeance against the learning curve that the game put me through when I played it all the way through back in 2023. And this is a game that I definitely recommend everybody should play at least once. It definitely should be mentioned in the same breath as other major indie titans like Cave Story and Hollow Knight, and it deserves to be like recognized in the same way. So next up is Hotline Miami, and unfortunately I'm also putting this under meh tier. Hotline Miami is like another one of those games that is mentioned in the same breath as Hollow Knight and Cave Story, but I felt a little let down playing it simply because maybe there was some kind of moral lesson to be found with it, but at the same time, I don't know, there's just something I really don't know what to say just regarding. Well, either way, like, maybe I can put my thoughts into writing sometime later, but it's going in meh tier. Meanwhile, Faith the Unholy Trinity, which is next, goes under really good tier. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but I kind of got into like wanting to see what this game was about after I saw the video Show This to Someone Who Hasn't Heard of Faith by Tangy Mayonnaise. And yeah, like, I was just surprised to see that guy show up on my streams, like both the streams I did for Faith Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. No, wait, I did Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 on the first stream, and then I did Chapter 3 on the second stream, and then went back to get every ending for Chapter 1 after that. But no, Faith was a solid experience, and I am fully aware that Erdorf, I think, is working on Chapter 4 now, so I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of that. So next up is Bendy and the Ink Machine, and this no-brainer is also going under really good. It is It is like rubber hose, like old style Disney cartoons, but as a quintessential horror experience. And what more could I ever ask for with that type of thing? Like, it's really just that good. And I'm looking forward to eventually getting around to playing Bendy and the Dark Revival, the sequel to it, which I hope to play within the next couple months. So then, next up is Pumpkin Jack, and I'm going to list this under should have played more because there were cool things about it. It really harkened me back to the PS1 medieval games. And it was a fun time and it was a fun game, but I also recognize that like it goes this low simply because not a lot of people were like interested. That stream didn't really get a lot of traction from anyone for any reason. So it goes that low simply because like yeah, I should have played it more. Maybe I could have done a better job in marketing the stream. I don't know. But at the same time, there were parts of it that were cool and other parts of it where I'm like, that's a little interesting. So I guess like maybe it gets really, really good later on, but I'd gotta like wait to see what happens with that. So then Cult of the Lamb is next. I'm going to put this under like just alright. I did enjoy what I played. I wouldn't put it in the really good tier, but it is a very solid experience. I just recognize that that game glitched my PC to hell and back to the point where I'm still mad that the game crashed on me and I lost very significant progress in one of my runs. So like that definitely detracted from things, but I might just play this game more on my own time, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. Next up is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I'm putting this under really good. It's Crystal Chronicles is one of my favorite games from my childhood. It's very similar to Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. I don't know if I would necessarily put it under top tier or even top 5, but overall, it's a very solid experience. And nostalgia is a hell of a drug, kids. I'm just going to say that. But I definitely want to finish the run. I need to play more of it, and I will play more of it. So I will get back to that. So then next up is Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. Also going under really good. Only played it the one time, but it is quintessential Yakuza. Like you've got the drama, you've got the humor, you've got like fighting styles for days with Kiryu's like Yakuza hitman style and his secret agent style, and there's just a lot of fun to be had. I only played it for 3 hours the one time. I definitely need to get around to playing more of it again. But rest assured, I will get around to it. But I do want to like keep playing this. It is it's basically just Yakuza. Cause like why not? Resident Evil 4. I would put this in top tier and also bypass it and put it as my number 4 for top 5 AAA. So, like I said, I've said this about Resident Evil 4, and I've said it a bunch of times. Like, this is one of the best survival horror games out there. Both this version of the game, the original, which is what I played on stream, and its remake are like the creams of the crop in terms of survival horror third-person shooters. And I highly recommend anybody who like wants to play it should definitely play both, because they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, but they're overall like very solid experiences to the point where yeah, like they both deserve to be mentioned in the same breath as like the best. But Resident Evil 4 has like that old school charm as well as like the humor aspect. And yeah, what can I say except I love it. So then moving on, Subnautica, I'm going to put this under top tier. I decided to, I played it once, didn't really get too far, and then this time I've done like 2 streams of it in 2024, or was it 3? I don't quite remember. Either way, I decided to face my fears and give the game another shot, and I'm glad I did, because the game is overall an incredibly solid thing. And it's definitely kind of sort of helping me get over thalassophobia just a little bit. And I do want to see like what more there is, but it's also been really fun just going through the game and going around, just kind of like taking it at my own pace and doing my own thing. Like, I never really thought about playing games like that, or games that really do that on stream, because I had to wonder like what exactly am I going to get out of this. But Subnautica has shown me like, yeah, there's plenty to get out of playing like quote unquote slow life, everyday life games like this. So yeah, it goes under top tier. Definitely looking forward to playing more of it. So the next up is Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion. This goes under meh. I unlisted that stream because I tried playing it for 30 minutes on Halloween, and it just really did not work out. Unfortunately, just like, nah, I wish it had worked out, but it really didn't. Which is weird because I played it for Halloween of 2023 and it seemed to function just fine. But then I tried playing it again this time, and after 30 or 45 minutes, the game just decided to tell me like, oh no, you're like completely like disbarred from ever playing it. I guess because they thought I pirated it when I actually purchased it. I don't know, it was like a weird glitch that undid a lot of my progress, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So then next up is Monster Hunter Wilds. I played the beta on stream, and I'm gonna put this under really good, because the Monster Hunter Wilds beta did not function all that well when I tried streaming it for PC, but when I tried playing it on PS5 both before and after the stream, like, it actually really worked, and it was really solid, and it was really a good time. So I'm hoping that they fixed things and that I am able to play it using my graphics card, which is the NVIDIA GeForce 1660X Super. Like, hopefully I can. I'm willing to give it a shot for the stream when it releases at the end of February, but if it doesn't work out, then unfortunately it doesn't work out. Now, the next up is Vampire Survivors. I only played it once for a stream, and I'm gonna label this under just alright, because for a survivor-like, it's a very solid experience. The only reason I decided to play it was because of the Castlevania content that got added to it as paid DLC, which I bought into, and even though that content is really good, I definitely think that that there are some things to be said about the rest of the stuff which I haven't gotten into, I'll be perfectly honest, and I feel like there's more to discover and more to play and more to unlock and more to see, but until I get around to doing all that, I'm leaving it under just alright. I definitely need to play more and unlock more in order to bump it up a few tiers. But overall, yeah, it was pretty good. And then next up is East 10 Nordics, which I'm also putting under just alright, because I played the demo for this game for a stream thinking, oh, I'm going to like pick this game up. I already know I will, so why not give myself a leg up and play the demo, which was a smart idea. I will give myself that. But at the same time, like, it would have gone under really good, but before I could even so much as get around to purchasing the game, Falcom announced that they're doing a re-release of this game in either late 2025 or early 2026 that features new story content and new areas and like new everything and more moves and like new ways to play. And I'm like, so if you're releasing that, what is the point of like me buying this game now? So I would have put it in really good, but it got bumped down to just alright because of that. So then next up is Banjo-Kazooie, and gonna put this in top tier for now, only to immediately bump it up to top 5 AAA. And I would actually put this at number 4 and put Resident Evil 4 at number 5. But Banjo-Kazooie is like one of the most solid game experiences you will ever experience. It is a product of its time back in like 1998, like Nintendo 64. And just there's so much to be said about like how solid of an experience it is, how charming it is, and just I do wish we had like more games like this, and there are plenty. Like there's A Hat in Time, there's Cavern of Dreams, Corn Kid 64, New Super Lucky's Tale, like etc. etc. There's a lot of other like really good, really major collectathons that have come about as like love letters to this game, but you can't beat the original. You really can't. So then next up is Dragon Quest III HD 2D. I'm going to put this, unsurprisingly, in top tier. Because Dragon Quest is Dragon Quest. I've been looking forward to playing this, and it hasn't disappointed me yet. It is a very solid experience, and it's very much the like old school like JRPG type experience that I've been looking for a long time now. And this has got me excited for whenever Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake are coming out. I know that it's going to be sometime in 2025. I just don't know when. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. But for the time being, like, Dragon Quest 3, like, yeah, you can't go wrong. It is, while it is a product of its time, it's a good product of its time, if that makes any sense. So then, Anton Blast. People aren't going to like this, but I'm putting this under really good. Because, actually, you know what? I'm putting this under top tier. It's definitely not in my top 5 of all the indie games that I've ever played, simply because of how short it is, but at the same time, it's overall a very solid experience. Granted, I say how short it is because you can play like Gravity Circuit, Signalis, and Crow Country in like shorter times. But Anton Blast, I feel like I expected it to be the same length as Pizza Tower, like 20 levels ish, with like multiple bosses. But I didn't really get that. It's still a really good game, and I would definitely play it over again if I could. But I played it so many times for like twice on stream, and I played it for like 3 different videos, and those were all very solid. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I feel like Anton Blast is like a cream of the crop style experience, and Summit Sphere absolutely knew what they were doing, but I feel like there could have been more. It's top tier, but it could have been more. You know what I mean? So then next up is Dynasty Warriors Origins. I'm going to put this under just alright. Simply because I love the Muso genre, explained by me putting Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition as high as I did. But this game has a more, I would say it has the most different approach to Warriors style, Muso style combat compared to like every other game I've seen. There seems to be more of an emphasis on one-on-one like officer versus officer combat, as opposed to I would say like AoE, like grand scale, kill a bunch of enemies at once style combat. And while that isn't necessarily a bad thing, Like, I don't think the warrior genre or the Muso genre is the right type of thing for it. Although if it is, and this game works out, then one, I'll admit to being wrong, but then I would also say, like, yeah, there's something to be said about setting it in a Dynasty Warriors setting, but I remember remarking this on stream. I feel like if you had a Zelda game with that style of combat, I think that could really work out. Like if there was going to be a Hyrule Warriors 3 with the Dynasty Warriors Origins style combat, I could really see that working. So then there's 3 games left. So I'm going to just skip to the back of the line a bit, put Banjo-Tooie in top tier, because it's more Banjo. More Banjo is good Banjo. Plus, it really does a good job at building off of what Banjo-Kazooie established. And I only played it the one time, which was like closer to the end of the year, but I'm definitely looking forward to continuing the run. I just don't know when that's going to be. But the one thing I'm very excited about is the fact that there's virtually little to no lag when I play this on Switch Online. There's like it functions normally as if I was playing the Xbox version, and that makes me happier than anything, because I don't know how my younger self ever dealt with the lagging and the constant frame drops of the old N64 cartridge, but oh man, this just I'm super happy with Tooie, and I'm definitely looking forward to more. Unsighted is the next game, and I'm going to put this under really good. Unsighted, I didn't know what I was getting into with it, but it came highly recommended from a friend, and I've always wanted to try it. And I really like it. It takes a lot of inspiration from games like Zelda, some Metroidvanias, and like I do recognize influences like Crosscode and Hyper Light Drifter in this game too. And there's a lot to like, and I only played it once, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing more of it, because I had a great time playing, and I want to know more, I want to see more, I want to play more. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then the last game on the list is The Violets of Amicus, which I was very privileged to be invited to play, and I would put this under really good. The state that it's in right now, there's a lot of things that are like really good about it, and a lot of things that were things that could have like used some work. I recognize that, but I did get a chance to speak a lot of my concerns to the developer and the artist, who are friends of mine, and yeah, like they're really taking everything that I said to heart, and I'm greatly looking forward to when its Kickstarter goes up. And I believe that's every game done, and it absolutely is. So the final rankings. Under Meh tier, we have Baldur's Gate 3, Thymesia, Cyber Shadow, Hotline Miami, and Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion. Under Game Engines and Tools, my ranking goes from top to bottom: RPG Maker MV, SRPG Studio, GarageBand, Blender, Pixel Game Maker MV, Game Maker, and Construct 3. Under Should Have Played More, I have Ender Lilies, Tales of Symphonia, Tomba Special Edition, and Pumpkin Jack. Under No Major Feelings, I have Crypt of the Necrodancer, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Mullet Mad Jack, and Heartbound. Under Just Alright, I have Past Libra Revision, Tormented Souls, Tekken 8, Death's Door, Eastward Octopia, Mario Superstar Baseball, Fire Emblem Blazing Blade, Visions of Mana, just based on the demo, Momodora Moonlit Farewell, Cult of the Lamb, Vampire Survivors, East 10 Nordics, and Dynasty Warriors Origins, just based on the demo. Under Really Good, I have Pseudo Regalia, After Image, The Last Faith, Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue, Palworld, Golden Sun, Cave Story, Honkai Star Rail, F-Zero GX, Kirby Air Ride, Lethal Company, Doom 2016, Zelda Link's Awakening Remake, Gestalt's Team in Cinder, Another Crab's Treasure, Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight, Final Fantasy X HD, Neo The World Ends With You, Bow Path of the Teal Lotus, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Game Boy Advance version, Metroid Prime Remastered, Fate the Unholy Trinity, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Like a Dragon Gaiden: The Man Who Erased His Name, the Monster Hunter Wilds beta, the Violets of Amicus demo, and Unsighted. Under top tier, I have Blasphemous 2, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, Pizza Tower's Noise Update, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, Halo Combat Evolved, Kingdom Hearts 2, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Crosscodes New Game Plus, Subnautica, Dragon Quest III HD 2D, Anton Blast, and Banjo-Kazooie. These are all, with the exception of game engines, ordered from like earliest played to most recent played. And then for top 5 indie, coming in at 5th place is Hollow Knight, 4th place is Gravity Circuit, 3rd place is, actually I'm going to switch this now that I really think about it. 3rd place is Signalis, 2nd place is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and 1st place is Crow Country. And then for AAA, I had put Resident Evil 4 and Banjo-Kazooie here, but I think I'm actually going to do some shifting here. Resident Evil 4 is actually going to go here. And in the number 4 spot, Banjo-Kazooie is going to drop to number 5. But in the number 4 spot is going to go Stranger of Paradise: Final Fantasy Origins. It was an overall very solid experience. I loved playing it. And I definitely need to get around to playing it some more on my own time, but I wouldn't trade the experience I had with playing it with literally anything else. It was easily one of the most fun times I had at the very beginning of the year in order to kick everything off. But yeah, for the time being, Banjo-Kazooie at number 5, Stranger of Paradise: Final Fantasy Origins at number 4, Castlevania: Order of Ecclesia at number 3, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door Remake at number 2, and Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition at number 1. So, there. So, download. I don't know why it's not... oh, there we go. Oh, no. There we go. I just wanted to make sure that I, downloaded that and copied that the way I did. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. This has been how I ranked every game I played on stream in 2024. Like, I could have included all the videos I played, but there's so many videos and so many different things that I keep thinking to myself, it's going to be hard to quantify when a lot of these were like one-offs, or I ended up playing like so many different games so many different times. So that's hard to like qualify and quantify and like hard to do. So that's going to be where I just leave it just for like streams only, because that's easier to count just for more like prolonged exposure to things. But for the time being, that's going to be the end of the video. This has been me ranking all my streams and all the games I played on stream. Thank you all so much for making 2024 such a kick-ass year and really enjoying what I do and enjoying my content and really helping me like grow and continue along. And I'm greatly looking forward to what 2025 brings. But that's going to be it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Have fun.